Soviet prisoners of war were preparing to steal a T-34 and escape from a German concentration camp. On the day Sang Biao inspected the tank repair results, the man deliberately had the driver showcase multiple skills, leaving the other party dumbfounded. But Sang Biao didn't care at all, because a tank without shells is just for show. However, he never expected that they would turn around and go to the burial site, dig out the shells one by one from the ground, and then load them all into the tank. The next day, when the training officially began, they lit a fire in the woods ahead of time. In an instant, the smoke from the flames obscured the German army's view, and this situation of the enemy being in the open while they were hidden was perfect for an ambush. By the time Sang Biao discovered the T-34, it was too late. The other side aimed in the direction of the command post and decisively fired a shell. In an instant, the entire concentration camp was in chaos. It was only then that Sang Biao realized he had underestimated the opponent. Braving a hail of bullets, the man led his teammates in driving the tank towards the border. Sang Biao immediately dispatched several tanks to pursue them, but they never found any trace of the T-34. Helpless, he could only personally take a plane to scout from above. He soon discovered 2 deep track marks, but did not immediately raise the alarm, instead quietly leading his team in a desperate chase under the cover of night. At this moment, the few people resting by the roadside quickly got into the tank and set off overnight, but stopped at the entrance of a small town ahead. It turned out the man keenly sensed a hint of danger. Sure enough, under the cover of night, Sang Biao had already ambushed there with several tanks. Unexpectedly, the man took an unconventional route. After carefully observing the surroundings, he had his men fire a shell, then quickly knocked down the nearby wall and entered the alley. Then, relying on precise shooting skills, they took down several more Panther tanks. In the end, only Sang Biao was left alone, with 2 tanks facing off on the bridge for a final battle. At this point, the T-34 had already run out of ammunition and supplies, relying only on the driver's skillful maneuvering to dodge danger, but was still hit by the opponent's shell. Although the tracks were damaged, they did not give up easily, and with the idea of perishing together with the opponent, they fiercely rammed into the Panther tank. Under the massive impact, the tank was hanging on the edge of the bridge, teetering. At this moment, the man slowly approached the opponent with a gun. Unexpectedly, Sang Biao slowly extended his hand. Perhaps this was a case of heroes respecting each other, but unfortunately, they belonged to different camps. In the end, Sang Biao did not gamble on survival, but with a hint of regret, chose to fall with the tank off the bridge, meeting his end in the northwest. In the end, the man relied on courage and wisdom to gain hard-won freedom, driving the T-34 back to